can be expensive, and it's a great hobby to have. My wallet just doesn't always agree. Welcome to the accelerated society who kills kids. Well, anyways, that'll be interesting. We gotta be realistic in life sometimes, but am I gonna try? Yes. So today we're gonna talk, well, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna see some of the books that I've bought this year, because I've been in a slight reading slump, and the books that I have been reading are kind of for different videos. I just wanna like give you different content, different books to discuss and talk about, because there's a lot out there. There's too much out there. Oh, if only I knew that I would be capable of reading my entire TBR. I mean, we can't. We can't. But at least I can buy it. Sort of, not really. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that I have the money for that. But I have bought books this year. So I'm gonna like talk to you about it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 books. Which is quite a lot. Although I have to be fair though, I think about half of them. So yeah, so half of them are either a gift or I bought them with a gift card. Let's start on the first book that I've bought this year, which is Cain's Jawbone. To say that this was a sensation on TikTok is gonna be an understatement. This book all of a sudden was sold out everywhere. I just hadn't let it really sink into me that this is like a book written in 1934. Second, English is not my first language, so I'm reading books right now where I'm like, what does that word mean? I don't know. Google Translate is my friend sometimes. Very difficult literary puzzle. Will I be one of the people who was gonna solve it? Probably not, because I don't know enough about literary references from the 30s and cultural references, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. Like, I want to be one of the people who solves it, for sure. I'm also not gonna fool myself into telling you 100% or myself that I will for 100% sure solve it. We gotta be realistic in life sometimes, but am I gonna try? Yes. Cain's Jawbone, first book that I got this year. Then, the second one is Looking at Pictures by Susan Woodford. I got this when I was just like, I went to the museum and I was kind of browsing the museum store because I saw this like really beautiful notebook. And I also saw this book and I was like, wait, I have that on my TBR list. And it's a book about, which basically talks to you about art. It kind of gives you like background knowledge about how certain eras they made paintings and art and statues. I think I saw a vase somewhere. Like, it's also about history and mythology, and it just explains to you how to look at paintings that have certain themes or talk about certain actions or stories or whatever, and so that you can like look at paintings with a more understanding of why they made certain choices and what they're like mostly trying to showcase, and kind of recognize paintings and pictures and art a little better, which is what I want. Like, I enjoy going to museums, but sometimes I'll look at a painting and be like, okay, I mean, it's pretty, but what? The next novel that I have is a Dutch novel. It's called Mijn Land, Mijn Bloed by Eline Rosenhart, which would later translate to My Land, My Blood. And it is about 3 people in Tel Aviv in 2015 amidst the kind of rise of lone wolf attacks at the time. And the 3 people are like a Palestinian, Israeli, and a Dutch volunteer, who all there, and like you kind of follow their lives and how they cross paths, and yeah, kind of how they view the situation in Israel, and also the slew of attacks that happens. I'm still reading it, as you can see. So yeah, I will talk about it, a wrap up at some time, definitely. I'm enjoying it so far though. Then, because I bought that book in the week of the book, of the like Dutch literary novels, in Nederlandse we have certain weeks throughout the year that are in theme of book. Recently we have like of the Dutch book, we have one of the English book, then we have one a children's book, week for a children's book, and I think there's also like a week for the youth. I think, don't quote me on that. But when that happens, you usually get like a small novella. That's part of it. I generally say yes because I want them. I have no idea what this is about. I have about 4 more in my TBR pile in my bookcase, so I'm maybe just gonna read all of them in one slew to see what it's about. I mean, it's got probably something to do with love, because amor. And also because the theme was love of this week. I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I think this looks like a very dark cover for a love story. I'm saying welcome to Dutch literature. That's all I have to say about that. Let's just say that Dutch literature isn't known for its positive note on life. Then we have bought other books. Like I said, I had like a really big gift card. So one of the first books that I got through that is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. To be honest, I don't know Dutch well. I just know that it's a book that people love. Specifically, one of my friends who I talked to about books. And she was like, I love this book, you should read it. How have you not read it yet? The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I saw it laying around. I was actually buying some other books for another video. And then I saw this one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read it because we have somewhat similar taste in books. We like similar elements in books. So I think I'll enjoy it. Working as an intern for a New York fashion magazine in the summer of 1953, Esther Greenwood is on the brink of her future. Yet, she's also on the edge of a darkness that makes her whole world increasingly unreal. Esther's vision of the world shimmers and shifts, day to day living in the sultry city, her crazed men friends, the hot dinner dances. Curious whether I like it? To be fair, and I'll be honest, if I wouldn't like know stuff about the Bell Jar, it might not be a book that I would specifically pick up really fast. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm looking forward to reading this one, just because other people are so enthusiastic about it. Then, I have 3 books that I bought from the gift card that I got, and for another video that I'm doing, because I was like, I don't really know which books to buy, which is not true, but we're gonna pretend that it is. So I was like, let's do a book recommendation, like that will recommend, a website that recommends you a random book. And one of them is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi, which has been on my TBR for a while. I wanted to read it, I just never really got to it. So I was very excited when this one came out. Full story of Evia and Essie, 2 sisters with 2 very different destinies. One sold into slavery, one a slave trader's wife. The consequences of their fate reverberate through the generations that follow, from the Gold Coast of Africa to the plantations of Mississippi. From the missionary schools of Ghana to the dive bars of Harlem. Spanning continents and generations, Yaa Gyasi has written a miraculous novel, an intense, heartbreaking story of one family, and through their lives, the story of America itself. Which sounds super interesting to me, and I love the cover. The second one that was recommended was The Adventures of Augie March. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't expect it to be this big of a novel. It's almost 600 pages. This isn't a novel that I would generally very quickly pick up myself. A penniless and parentless Chicago boy growing up in the Great Depression, Augie March drifts through a life latching onto a wild succession of occupations, including butler, thief, dog washer, sailor, and salesman. He is a born recruit, easily influenced by others who try to mold his destiny. Not until he tangles with the glamorous Thea, a huntress with a trained ego, can he attempt to break free. A modern-day everyman on an odyssey in search of reality and identity. Augie March is the star performer in Bellow's exuberant, richly observed human variety show. Winner of the Nobel Prize of Literature, which probably means it's good. To be fair, with a lot of these prizes, it is probably a very well written book, especially if Nobel Prize is a well written book, but whether you like it or not is always, like, I think very personal. It does sound very interesting, and I think I'll enjoy reading it. I just am curious if I'm gonna enjoy it for 600 pages. the last one that was recommended to me, which I got very excited for, because I think about a few days prior, one of my friends highly recommended this book to me, which is The Atlas Six by Olivie Blake. Now, I had heard of the Atlas Six for a while. Like, I'm aware of it. I was talking to my friend about like some books, and just like, I enjoy Six of Crows duology. She's like, I don't know. But I said, like, what do you like about it? And I explained to her all the things I liked, and she was like, if those are things you like, read the Atlas Six. And when this one came out, I was like, yes, it's fate. It's fate that I'm reading this book. So I've started. I'm like one chapter in. I'm enjoying it. So for those of you who don't know what the book is about, which I didn't either, when I put it on my TBR, 6 extraordinary magicians, 5 chances to win, 1 secret society. Which is great, because I've recently finished Ninth House, so I'm like in the mood for more secret societies. Each decade, 6 magicians are invited to compete for an incredible prize and place within secretive Alexandrian society. Their custodians guard knowledge from ancient civilizations and enjoy incredible power, and here are the contenders. Dun dun. Yeah, I'm gonna like make the noises myself, because I have no idea where to find the sound bites for this. Libby Rhodes and Nico de Verona are inseparable enemies, and both can control matter with their minds. Alright, some academic rivalries, maybe turn lovers, who knows? We're here for it. Parisa Kamali is a telepath who can perceive the deepest of secrets. Raina Mori understands the flow of life itself. How do you understand the flow of life? Oh no. Anyways, I wouldn't know what that looks like, but they'll explain it in a book, I reckon. And Keller Nova is an empath who can manipulate the desires of others. Finally, there's Tristan Cain, whose powers mystify even himself. Dun, dun, dun. Following recruitment by the mysterious Atlas Blakely, they travel to the Society's London headquarters. Here, each must study and innovate within esoteric subject matter areas. Esoteric subject areas. And if they can prove themselves over a year, they'll survive. Most of them. Welcome to the Accelerated Society, who kills kids. Well, anyways, that'll be interesting. Then I have a few secondhand books that I got, which are like 3 classics I got. I thought they looked very beautiful and I wanted to read them, so I'm curious. The first one is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Nobody throws a party like Yaa Gyasi, whose Long Island mansion buzzes day and night with riotous crowds of bright young things. But Gatsby's always alone in the crowd, saying along for the one thing he cannot have, and eventually this yearning will destroy him. I don't know if I'm gonna like this book. It's very short, that's why I got it, and I thought it looked really nice. And I just wanted to read it once. I don't know if I'm gonna like this book, because I also have a feeling that it might just be about a man lost, like going for like, oh, if she only notices me, and then like this one's like, wait, who? Like, you think I've been searching for you this whole time? Okay, you know. So we'll see. It's a short read, so I'll probably get to it a little bit sooner. Then I also got Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brönte. I actually have no idea what the story is about. Well, I mean, Jane Eyre, that I know, but I mostly got the book because people seem to enjoy it, and mostly because I heard a lot about a character, Jane Eyre itself, and she sounds awesome. I don't know what the book's about, so you and I are gonna find out together. Or you're just looking at me right now, I'm like, how do you not know? Which is fair. It's fair. Passionate, poetic, and revolutionary, Jane Eyre is a novel of naked emotional power. It's the story of a defiant, fiercely intelligent woman who refuses to accept her appointed place in society, and instead finds love on her own terms. It has become hailed as one of the greatest romances ever written, but is also a brooding gothic mystery. Okay, I'm here for it. A profound depiction of character and transformative work of the imagination. That actually sounds very interesting. So, yeah, I will definitely read that one. Then I also got Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I have wanted to read it for a while. I was trying to find like a good secondhand copy of it, which for a long time I just couldn't find, or one that was like in really bad shape. And I was like, you know what, I think that I'll just have to wait out for a little longer until it comes by. And I did. I finally got like a really nice copy of it. Mary Shelley's chilling gothic tale was conceived when she was only 18. Living with her lover Percy Shelley on Lake Geneva, the story of Victor Frankenstein, who plunders graveyards for material to fashion a new being, but whose botched creature sets out to destroy his maker, would become the world's most famous work of horror fiction and remains a devastating exploration of the limits of human creativity. So I'm excited to read this one, and then I will show you the book that I just bought today, which is very in tune with Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, because this book is about Mary Shelley. I told the man that he didn't have to pack it because it's a book for me, but he did anyway. So we're gonna unpack it. I know. Here's the thing. I would love to do ASMR. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna hate editing this. Because I'll be honest, I hate ASMR. I think it's awful. I don't get it. Like where some people are like, oh, I really like ASMR, it's so comforting. I have the exact opposite response to it. Like I don't find it comfortable at all. But here we go. Mary by Eekhout, which is a book that I've saw in a little while because I saw the cover and was like, oh, beautiful. It is a Dutch novel, but the story itself is about Mary Shelley. Let me try to like translate it literally right now, so it will not sound as great as an actual synopsis. It is 1816. Mary Shelley is only 18 if she and her beloved Percy Shelley are bringing a visit to their friends John Polidori and Lord Byron at the Lake of Geneva. At night, at the fire, they tell each other ghost stories. A sliver of a memory brings her back 4 years in time, in Scotland, where her and her friend Isabella are experiencing a mystifying adventure. From that memory starts the story of the monster of Frankenstein. Mary is an ode to the imaginations and creation of stories about the undisputable bond between fantasy and reality, with similarly amazing imagination. Anna Eekhout knows the 18-year-old maker of the masterpiece Frankenstein bring to life. That sentence did not grammatically make sense, but a book a while ago and I loved it very much and I was very interested. And I had a little bit of money left from a gift card, so I was like, this is the time to get it. So yeah, I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to reading this. Maybe especially I'm gonna read these two at the same time or similarly, back to back, to read and the story of Frankenstein from Mary Shelley itself and a book about Mary Shelley. So yeah, those are all my books I think that I've bought this year so far. I think we can all agree that that's more than enough. Will I put myself on a book ban? You know what? Yes. Generally I'd be like, maybe don't. But now I'm making this video and I'm realizing all the books that I've got and how few of them, well, none of them, I have read. And that my shelf of TBR, physical TBR, has outgrown its shelf significantly up until October. No more books, which is fine because I have a lot to read. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and comment and like down below. And then I see you guys again next week. Up until then, happy reading!